So for my place-based lesson plan activity, I am doing 5th grade because that's where I got placed for student teaching. And so the subject I'm doing is the Road to Independence, and that's just kind of leading into the American Revolution and just the events leading up to that. I think my lesson length is going to be a couple days of 30 minutes, maybe one 45-minute day, and then when my students are going to present, it's going to take probably about an hour. So what I'm going to be doing is the Boston Tea Party. I'm going to be having my students act out that skit, and then to wrap up everything from the unit, we're going to do a big timeline, which is the place-based activity. So there's a lot in this kind of, I think, more of a unit than anything, but I thought it's kind of a fun way to kind of wrap up and lead into the next, which would be the American Revolution. So yeah, my social studies standard is society's experience continually and change over time, and relationships between people, place, idea, and environments are dynamic. I chose those just because during this time, America, or pre-America, really was changing a lot and doing a lot so they could become free, and just the different roles of the people and events of the places and different things like that just all came together to make America what America is today. I did not have any math or science standards, but I found one for ELA, which is provide logically ordered reasons that are supported by facts and details. So I chose this because my students are going to be doing research, and I feel like to research you have to have facts, and with my facts they're going to do a skit from it. So my objective is students will be able to present their information they have learned in a skit form in the Boston Tea Party. So I guess I'll just kind of get into my lesson, really. So the pre-part, I feel like just leading up to this, we're already going to have talked about like societies of North America, exploration and conflict, and then colonization. So this is just another step, which is leading to the big American Revolution. And then from there, then we can get into the American history and wars and things like that. So, my introduction, I kind of want to do something kind of fun, kind of silly. They're 5th graders. I'm assuming this would be probably towards 3rd or 4th quarter, so we're going to be pretty well off of knowing each other. So I'm going to first introduce this lesson with a couple questions, and then I'm going to hand out a KWL chart and have them fill it out for what they might know beforehand, whether they've seen something on TV, their parents have talked about it, they learned it in a class before, or whatever. This will allow them to fill out what they know already. And then I'm going to put on a little 3-minute clip of a YouTube, which is in my lesson plan. It's a little YouTube video, just kind of a little background of what the Boston Tea Party is. And then just for a fun thing, I remember I did something kind of similar to this when I was younger. There's a Zack and Cody episode that talked about the Boston Tea Party, and it was them reenacting it kind of in a silly way, but it just kind of stuck with me and kind of helped me even remember the Boston Tea Party. So it's like 15 minutes long. So I figured on a fun time, like on Friday at the end of the day of our history lesson, I would show this little Zack and Cody clip. And at the end, I want to discuss and like compare and contrast, like from the YouTube video to this, kind of what do you think would be similar and what's different, and what can we use from this in our skit ourselves. So then after that, we're going to have a couple days of 30 minutes probably, where we're going to be paired in groups of 5 or so, and they're going to do some research just of the important people, events, what made up the Boston Tea Party, just things like that. And when they're done filling out a graphic organizer that I'll have for them, they'll come together as a class and we'll fill it out together with information maybe one group might have missed and the other group's got, or whatever. So we're going to do that, fill out that, and then I'm going to assign roles by having my students come up to me whether they want to present or not. So then we're going to work on the skit part, which will be my students are going to go in front of the other 5th grade classes, their parents, any staff that want to come on a Wednesday afternoon, and we're going to present a little skit of what the Boston Tea Party was and why it was important in American history and what it kind of started to lead towards. So once that's over with, my ending activity is where this place-based kind of activity will come in. And so we've done a lot of active things, fun things, and now we're gonna get to like this part where we're gonna do a timeline. So I'm going to prepare different objects like a ball or fun things that have paper on them, and it's gonna have an event on each item. And as a class, we're gonna go out to like the field behind the school, pretending we have one, and we're going to organize these objects in chronological order of how they have happened in history. And then after we have filled out all of these events and I check it and we discuss the events, it's going to be things we've learned throughout the year. So starting from day one of what we learned all the way up to our Boston Tea Party, so that way they can fill out their chart. And we'll discuss it and talk about events that have happened in each of these and kind of go off of that. And it'll end on our Boston Tea Party. There's going to be one little bubble at the end of it that is going to talk. It has 3 questions, and it's going to be a wrap-up thing before this unit is over, and then we lead into our next one. And it's going to ask you, what is something you really learned that you didn't know before? Maybe something they're still confused about. So maybe on a catch-up day, we can get back and talk about some event that this confused them with, or something I wasn't maybe clear enough about, or things like that. And then the last one's a predicting. I'm going to have them predict what they think will happen next from the Boston Tea Party in American history. What do they think is going to happen? Do they think something good, something bad, totally wrong, spot on? Do they know? Just something like that, so that way we can wrap it all up. And then when we come back the next time we have history or social studies, we will discuss what the right answer is and go from there. So that is my lesson plan, my place-based activity, and just kind of a fun way to teach the Boston Tea Party and just leading up to America being the America we know today.